Hi, welcome to Local Flavor. My name is Oystein Solberg. We're at the wonderful patio at the Institute for Culinary Arts. It's just a nice, glorious day, and we're hanging out with Chef Michael Combs.
Thank you for having me. And yes, it's August, and we're outside, and we're not sweating.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm a little bit closer to the grill, so I'm starting to get like a little sweat, but it's totally fine. Since it is August, it is a wonderful day. It's just a wonderful day to just throw some meat on the spit and just let it spin.
Exactly. So it's a different, instead of grilling, you can actually use a spit too, so you don't have to, you can probably leave it unattended for a little while and go off and do something else instead of having to watch the grill, right?
It's like magic.
Can't beat that.
You still shouldn't just
forget
I don't know,
right?
Go to the store and go crazy.
Don't do that.
Yeah, but no, it's wonderful. No, rotisserie is just a wonderful way of cooking, because like when meat, when any kind of protein cooks, like it's going to be sweating, like there's a lot of juices coming out, and by the meat constantly spinning, like the meat is basically basting itself
right
all the time.
Which is what holds the juices in, is basting, right?
It's so nice. It's going to be delicious. So we got two different things today. We got a little lamb roast, and we got a chicken.
Yes, we do, and we, as you can see,
delicious.
We don't have a lot of different spices or anything. It's very simple.
Very simple, because like it's already delicious on its own. So it's going to be great. Okay, so this is just a lamb roast. So it's just a cut out of the lamb leg. I haven't done anything to it. Like I just took it out of the leg, and that's about it. You can have your butcher help you out with that too. They'll be more than glad to help you out. So what I'm going to do, I got some garlic cloves right here. So this is just regular garlic cloves. I just split them in half. And took that little sprout out of them, because usually ends up tasting.
If you have that little green sprout in there, yeah, you should take it out. It gets kind of bitter, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not very tasty. But garlic and lamb, like it's classical combination.
It is just
so
like
so
mint
delicious
with it as well.
Oh, it's so good. So I'm gonna make some small pockets in the meat. So just use a paring knife, pop it in there, and just twist just a little bit.
Just to open that pocket up a little bit.
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna take these cloves and just shove them in there. So instead of marinating the meat overnight, which you also can do, like you can just stud it right in there, by blanching the garlic as well to kind of take some of that harshness out of it.
Sure.
So it's more just mellow and sweet.
So it's not so stringent and strong when you cut into it.
Oh, it's just wonderful.
Because you're not going to cook that. We're not going to cook it completely done, and so that's why the garlic wouldn't be done if you put raw garlic in it.
Yeah. Yeah, because like the lamb, we're just gonna cook it to like a nice medium, really. So I'm just gonna stud those little suckers in there. And then I got some twine here. So you just want to make sure all the fibers in the leg is running the same way.
Right.
So when we truss it, you want to have the fibers running lengthways.
So like against the fibers.
Exactly. Because that way when you go, once that cooks and we're going to slice it, because like you don't want to serve like a whole slab of leg.
Right.
That way when you slice it, you'll be cutting through the fibers and you get short fibers, and it'll be a lot more tender to eat, a lot more delicious.
So slice against the grain.
Exactly. Yep. Because it's better for us to cut through the grain than us having to chew through it later.
That's right. Because it'll be stringy. It'll be very stringy.
This sucker's a lot sharper than my teeth. I haven't had them sharpen in a little while.
I don't know about that one, but
yeah. All right, so what we're gonna do, I'm just gonna kind of tie a little knot on here.
So what you're doing, you're trussing it to, and why would you truss something? Why would you?
It's just to kind of get it uniform in size.
Mm-hmm.
I'm making
so
all
that way,
sorts
like
of funky knots.
if the meat tapers and one side's bigger than the other, that way it gets done at the same time, and you don't have one way done and the other side not done at all, right?
Because you see this one here, like it's, because like no meat is perfectly even, like
right.
That just doesn't happen. But this one, it's just a little bit kind of wider on the back. But like if you truss it up, it'll even out and it'll cook very nice and evenly, just like magic. So I'm just gonna tie just a double knot right at the end there, and just leave a little piece of twine. And then I'm just gonna kind of lay my hand just over the meat, fold the twine over, grab the end of the meat, and then feed the twine onto. This takes a little bit of practice, but
it does. It looks confusing. Once you do it, it's not so bad, but it looks a little confusing when you see it. But once you do it, it's really
like if you take like an empty pop bottle or something like that and just practice on it.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, like it works out great. So just grab the end of the meat and just kind of feed it on there, and then it'll just the garlic is just popping out of this thing.
It is popping out there, isn't there?
Oh,
it's okay.
Oh, it'll be delicious. Right there. So, And I'm just gonna turn it.
Yep. And if you have a little tail, it would be a good time to fold that little tail in there, like if you're doing a whole tenderloin or something like that.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, it totally works fine because like every cut of meat is gonna be a little bit different. So I'm just gonna kind of go up through the backside as well. This will just help keep the truss just nice and even throughout. Then I take that little end piece where I started.
That you saved?
Yep. And just tie it off on the back there.
Awesome.
And just tie a little knot.
So that was very simple. And like
Super
Oystein said, your butcher can do that for you too if you feel uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, like you can buy a lamb roast already in kind of that ham netting.
Yes.
And it'll totally work fine.
True.
Totally easy. So what are you gonna do with this little birdie over here?
So I have chicken, a nice fresh chicken from our local organic chicken farm.
Wonderful.
And it's very fresh. You can even still see little capillaries and everything on there. You don't see any extra water underneath the skin or anything like that. It looks a little different too. You'll see that the breast is longer than a normal chicken. So these are, like I said, they're free range and organic. So they look a little different, but they're delicious and they hold in more moisture than even the brined ones.
Yeah.
I think, and they're more tender and have a lot more flavor. It actually tastes like something.
It actually tastes like chicken.
Yeah, it tastes like chicken. It doesn't taste like
that's
nothing.
That's unheard of.
It is.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing, but in a different way. So basically, a good rule of thumb is to have maybe 3 times the length of whatever you're working with as far as like a chicken goes. And so I have plenty of string here, and that's just fine. All I have to do is just cut the rest off when I'm done. So let's see. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the middle or somewhat middle of this, and I'm going to wrap it around here. But first what I'm going to do is tuck his little wings behind his back there.
It's like it's sleeping.
Yes. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to put this guy together so that way when he cooks evenly also. So that way the wings don't get overdone or the legs don't get overdone.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, these are all dry and this is not done in the center.
It's the same as you do with kind of all whole birds, like whether it's a turkey or a chicken or whatever, yeah.
Same exact thing. And so all I'm gonna do is make a double tie too, just like Oystein did. And the reason why we do that is because it holds a lot better. You don't have to hold your finger down to hold it. It just holds down on its own. So let's see. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tie it. I kind of wrap it around here in the bottom, and I'm gonna pull the breast up. You see how it just plumps up right away? Pretty cool. So it's gonna plump up. And then what I'll do is I'm going to tie these guys together. Actually, I probably don't need all this, so I'm just going to cut a little bit off.
I went a little twine happy today.
That's okay. It's best to have more than not enough, because then you can always cut off, but you can't add. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to do a double string tie right here, all the way down. And as you can see how he's all tied up here. And then if you want to, you can do the same where you run it basically down here. If you want, sometimes there's a little string here. I can run these two here, or if there's a little tail,
just kind of loop it
you can tie. Yep, you can tie that, but there is none, so it doesn't really matter. I can cut it off there and just tie a little knot. I can wrap it up here too. Do it a couple of times. So this one's actually very simple.
It's beautiful.
Yep, and your butcher can do this too. Your local butcher, if you don't feel uncomfortable doing that, your butcher can do that as well. And so all we'll do is
But like it basically just kind of helps kind of seal off the whole kind of back by the tailbone, making the white meat cook slower and the dark meat just kind of finishing up at the same time.
Yes, and then another thing is when you do cook it and you temp it, which we can probably talk about later too, but we'll probably remind you again later, is that you're going to temp in the thigh, and the thigh is going to register 180 degrees, and so in the breast is going to be done at 165 because it's white meat. And so the darker meat's 180. So they're going to register at 2 different temperatures. I guess the FDA requires that you cook it until 165. 165 is done, but it won't be very good to eat the legs at 165. It'll be about 180. Yeah. And the same thing with a turkey. When you cook a turkey, you always want to temp in the thigh, closer to the bone. So
it's like magic.
Yeah. And so all we'll do is I guess we'll season these guys up, won't we? And then we'll put them on the barbie.
Beautiful. Okay, so we got a wonderful little spit here. It looks kind of medieval and dangerous, but it's a wonderful cooking thingy. It's awesome. So just gonna do a little salt and pepper. I'll do a little seasoning on your birdie too.
Yep. As you can see, Oisin, he handled the lamb and I do the chicken. So he's kind of doing all the handling everything else. And because the chicken has to be cooked a lot longer than the lamb, and we don't want to cross-contaminate, so.
Beautiful. All right, we're just gonna let this set aside for a little bit. Then once we come back, like we'll just pop these puppies on a skewer. And then,
get them going.
We're gonna get them spinning.
I think our coals are looking really good right now.
It's looking good. Like they're nice and kind of nice and gray, like nice and ashy looking. So I think we'll be just about ready to throw them on there.
Awesome.
So just stay tuned, and we'll be right back.
See you soon.
Hi, and we're back here again at the Institute for Culinary Arts, where we're ready to thread some meat.
Yes, we are. We're about ready to put these things on the spit, aren't we?
Sounds wonderful. All right,
Get it going.
So we got this
yep.
primeval-looking monster of a thing.
Contraption here.
Looks like we're about to, like, I don't know, dress up in knight's costume and just start stabbing stuff or something. All right, so how do we go about this thing? Like you just kind of thread it right on there?
Yep, we're gonna thread this right through here.
Beautiful.
And we're just going to make sure that we have these stuck into the protein here, so that way it spins and it doesn't just rotate. It doesn't not rotate.
Yeah.
Is what we want.
So when you just push it down there so it's just nice and snug?
That's right. And
beautiful.
And we have this ready. And then we're going to do also.
So like if you were just doing chicken, then we just do this one down on it and just have one going from each side.
Exactly.
Beautiful.
I think so, just to hold it on there. But we're going to do lamb instead also. We're going to do two. So we're going to put the lamb here on the opposite end, so that way we can pull it off, because it's going to be done most likely before this.
Yes, yes. So like we're just going to thread it on there. So this one I'm just going to kind of get a hole going, and then I'm just going to I'm going to try and jam some rosemary through
Fresh
there.
rosemary. We just picked this too.
So we'll get a little bit in there.
And rosemary is pretty potent, and you can even chop it up, put it on the outside if you like to.
Oh yeah. Let me just thread it down on there.
Yep. And rosemary is one of those herbs that you kind of have to learn how to use. If you don't, some people have had a bad experience with rosemary, where it's woody and that sort of thing. And so
I
it's
think
really
we just get these puppies just nice and snug on each other. Like both of them are going to cook quite far, so it'll be nice and tasty.
Yes. Okay, so
beautiful.
Now we're going to get them on the fire here. And, oops.
I'm going to let this thread it down.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to put this side in
Beautiful.
first. So it's looking awesome.
I get this side.
Yep, if you can get that side, Oisin. There we go. Takes two.
Takes two to tango. So just make sure everything's just nice and tight.
And there you go.
Press play. And we might even just lower the grate a little bit to kind of get the coals a little bit further away.
Yep.
Because we want it to just kind of cook, just nice and evenly. Like you don't want to rush it too much.
Yeah, slow and low is just fine.
Yeah. Like it's sticking on there real well. It's spinning along, so it'll just do its little magic.
Yep, and we can even get there's a little. Make sure we get some seasoning on there too. We did season it a bunch, but a
little bit more never hurts.
Yeah, it's never hurt anybody.
It's beautiful. Awesome.
So, sounds like you have a little something for us.
I got a little something.
And
so,
what are we gonna serve with this thing?
Oh, we're gonna make some fun stuff. Basically, like the chicken, I had this idea of making this rotisserie grilled romaine Caesar salad-y type thing.
Oh, awesome! So you can grill romaine?
Yeah.
Actually, I have had grilled romaine, and it's
delicious,
awesome.
Isn't it?
It is. I've had it on like hoagies with sausages.
Oh,
Surprisingly,
yeah.
it's very good. You can. It's amazing what it'll stand up to. It's pretty hearty lettuce, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's just kind of packed so tight, and you got just enough stem on it to hold it together without making it all sorts of fun.
Right, and just throw it on the grill.
It's wonderful. So basically, the Caesar dressing is basically like a mayonnaise with anchovies. There's some Dijon mustard. There's lemon juice, Parmesan, black pepper. The whole works. So I'm just going to start out with the egg. I'm just going to use the egg yolk. I'm just going to pop that in my mortar and pestle right here. And in here I got a couple of garlic cloves. I just use the same ones that I use for lamb, like the blanched ones.
Sure.
They're nice and mild and all sorts of delicious.
So if you were to use just like fresh, you probably want to be very careful with it. It can be very strong.
Yeah, you have to cut back on the amount a little smidge, but it's quite delicious. I'm gonna add a little bit of Dijon mustard. You add that early because it'll help the emulsification a little bit.
Okay.
There's a little.
Plus, I know you should add a little salt too, maybe as an abrasive too.
Exactly. Yeah. It'll help the egg yolk just kind of take on the oil and stay nice and emulsified.
Sure.
And delicious. A little bit of lemon juice. Because it's delicious. There.
Looks good. And you can do this, you don't have to do it in a mortar and pestle, do you?
No, like you could do it in a food processor and whatever. But I don't know, doing it in here, like, it just feels right. We're outside.
Right, and it's just a small amount, so really you don't, if you're in a
Yeah.
food processor, if you were to do like 1 or 2 egg yolks, it probably wouldn't work.
Yeah, but if you're making, like, you can make quantities of this and let it sit, and then just kind of use it as you need it. And it works totally fine. But for like 1 egg yolk, this will work out pretty good. So I'm gonna add a little bit of Parmesan too. So this is just grated Parmesan. There. And then I'm just gonna start adding extra virgin olive oil.
So you're just going to slowly stream that in just to make an emulsification.
Yeah.
If you add too much at one time, it could break, couldn't it?
Yep. So you just start out kind of slow, and then once you start getting a little bit in there and kind of the emulsion kind of starts to catch, you can start adding a little bit faster.
And so if you were to break that, let's say you were to break that, is there a way you can fix that?
You could take another egg yolk and then start adding this into the egg yolk.
Gotcha.
It's tricky, but it's possible.
Or even pop it in the blender or something like that. Huh?
That works too. That works too. No, there's all sorts of kind of remedies for that. So, but you're just gonna keep adding small amounts and just kind of keep stirring, and it should stay together.
Yeah, it's looking good. And just as a rule of thumb too, when you're doing like a cold emulsion like this, when you're making mayonnaise and things like that, usually 1 egg yolk will hold about 11 ounces of oil.
Yeah.
And if you're doing like hollandaise, which is hot, I usually go about to 7 ounces or so.
Yeah.
What it'll mainly hold. Sometimes a little less because if I wanted to be careful of not breaking or something like that if I'm working on the line. But yeah, so about 11 ounces is what it can hold. Doesn't mean you want to go that high, but really consistency is what you're looking for, what you really like in your consistency.
Like Caesar dressing is one of those where I can take it like a little bit eggy almost.
Sure.
So just kind of cutting back on the amount of oil a little bit. And
Sure.
It still works just fine. Like so that the sauce is together.
And would you like any?
Oh, almost forgot about anchovies. You can't have Caesar dressing without anchovies.
Yep. Some people don't even know that it has anchovies in it, and it does.
Oh, it's delicious. Like it's an optional thing, but I think it needs to be in there.
I agree. That's what makes a Caesar dressing.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna get them all smashed up and nice in there. You see, it's staying nice and thick. Oh,
it is. You have a good emulsification. Looks like it's not going to break. What it is, those egg yolks, they have lecithin in them, like an egg lecithin, and that's what helps it emulsify.
Yeah. So let's see, it's just nice and thick.
Looks good.
So once it's that thick, it'll just stick to the greens really well, and it'll work out good. I'm just gonna finish off the Parmesan. I just like Parmesan a lot.
Yeah, you can put a ton of Parmesan on that stuff. Plus, it'll help it stay together too.
Oh yeah, it'll be good. Right there. Then all that's left is just kind of season this with salt and pepper.
Sure.
That's about it.
Stick it in the fridge until you want to use it.
Yeah. So you can make this the day ahead of time, kind of whenever, and it'll hold just fine.
Awesome.
Beautiful. What kind of shenanigans do you have?
Well, I have a very, very, very delicious but easy recipe. And for those of you who would have decided to grow nasturtiums, you can use nasturtiums because a lot of people are wondering, what are they for? Do I just put them in a salad, that sort of thing? Yes, you can do that, but you can also give them a nice, they have a nice peppery taste. And so we're going to make a really quick sauce for our lamb. It's very simple. You can use the leaves off these nasturtium, and also the flowers as well. They taste kind of peppery, radishy kind of taste, but not quite as like horseradishy. So all we're going to do is just add some nasturtiums here, as much as you'd like. Maybe a juice of 1 lemon. So I'm just going to make sure there's no seeds in here at all.
Yeah, seeds are bad.
Yeah, seeds are bad.
But lemon is good.
bad for your dental work. So, you know, we're going to be using a little bit more, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a little bit of your olive oil again also.
Beautiful.
And so...
You know I brought it out for a reason.
Yes, and so just a little salt here, and I'm going to use this immersion blender. So, Oisin, if you could.
Yep.
So Oisin's basically going to stream some of this oil in here, and yep, you can keep going. It'll eventually. You have a small bowl here. There we go.
Oh, that looks awesome.
And if you want to add anything else to it, like a garlic or something like that, you can do that as well. It doesn't really need much. It's really just like, and this is excellent for lamb or fish, poultry.
Oh, fish has got to be great.
Yep, for fish as well. A little citrusy, kind of radishy, peppery kick to it.
Beautiful.
It has no need for pepper, but if you'd like to add pepper to it, like fresh ground pepper, you can.
Yeah.
But really, this is pretty much all you need, and just adjust the salt seasoning into to your own taste.
Because too often stuff is just over-seasoned. It doesn't taste like its origins anymore.
Right. You don't even taste what you put in it anymore, and so we want to keep this pure to its nature, and we also, these are nasturtiums. You only get them once a year here.
Yeah.
They don't grow all around all year, and so. Yeah, we're going to enjoy some of these.
Beautiful. Okay, so all we got to do is just wait for our meat to kind of finish spinning. Like it's going to take a little while, kind of getting those nice and done. So meanwhile, we're going to hear what Mary has to say. And
awesome.
I would think would be pretty proud. Like
I think she'd be proud of this time.
Yeah, like this is pretty good.
Yeah, so very healthy.
Yeah, like I'm kind of excited. So just stay tuned, and we'll hear what Mary has to say, and we'll be right back.
Learning how to prepare your own rotisserie meat is a good skill for helping you eat a healthier diet. Convenience store-bought rotisserie meat often have added fat and are injected with solutions or broths containing salt. Chef Oisin mentioned free-range chicken. What is free-range chicken? The United States Department of Agriculture does not have a precise definition for free range, but it allows the term to be used if chickens have access to go outdoors for part of the day. Food science studies indicate when chicken eat a plant-based barnyard-type diet, the content of the meat tends to be leaner and higher in essential fats.
Hi, then we're back here again at the Institute for Culinary Arts. Thank you, Mary, for being awesome as always. I think she's starting to like us a little bit.
Oh yeah, we're getting healthier.
Like, I think those bribes have really been helping out. Good. Okay, so we got the meat done over here.
We do.
It's been spinning around and just having a jolly good time.
So we're going to just get this off here. All right.
That just looks right.
It does. Oh.
Right, so then it's just slide off the end.
Be careful, probably very hot.
Yeah, it's not cold.
All right.
Right there. And then I'm gonna start getting we got like a little salad going with the lamb.
Okay.
We got some fun stuff. So I just got some sliced red onions. Just a good little handful or so.
So I will take care of slicing this up, and we're gonna let the meat rest while we're kind of waiting, aren't we?
Beautiful. And I got some Kalamata olives. Got some radishes in there. I just really like radishes. It's quite delicious.
Yeah, they're refreshing. Good summertime kind of refreshing.
Yeah.
If you deal with them right too, salt will usually get rid of a little bit of bitterness.
Oh yeah.
If it's too bitter for you.
Oh, it's delicious. We got a couple of types of tomatoes. We got some peppers. I got some crumbled up feta cheese.
Okay.
Good chunk of cheese. Then I also got some, we got some radish greens and some misuna. Misuna is kind of similar to arugula. Got like a little peppery notes to it. Very, very tasty. Just gonna jam all of that on there. And then we got that lemon nasturtium vinaigrette. I'm just gonna do a little sprinkle dinkle over it. And yes, that is actually a word, sprinkle dinkle.
I was just thinking that.
I
whenever you
looked
said
it up, and it's totally a word.
Sprinkle dinkle.
Yeah, I won't say which book I found it in, but it totally exists.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna toss it all together. And that's it. Super easy, summery.
Wow, looks great.
Oh, actually got some grilled zucchinis here too. So
That looks
just
really good.
long slices of zucchini that we just threw on the grill for a little bit.
Yep.
Just kind of cut them into like little strips. And just jam it all on there.
Okay.
I got some grilled baguette. I'm just gonna tear it off. Just kind of got a little bit of oil on there. Threw on the grill just so it's nice and crispy. And that's about it.
And I am slicing the lamb, and it's a good idea to let this rest. As you can see, it's nice and juicy. Look at that.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
It's perfect, actually.
It's beautiful.
Yep.
It's resting and like you're basically just allowing the juices to settle. Because when it cooked, the juices are kind of moving, and if you slice too early, they're still going to be moving around. So see, like it's kind of bleeding out a little bit.
Yeah, we probably can let it rest for a little longer.
Yeah.
But we have a show to run here, so.
Yeah. So kind of rule of thumb is like 1/3 of the time it took to cook it, ballpark.
Right.
Yeah. But beautiful.
Yes, and it looks.
Happy days.
Yeah, it looks great.
Okay, so next we got Caesar salad going on.
We do, and I have grilled. It's going to be a grilled Caesar salad, so we actually grilled the romaine, which I have ready to go here. You just threw it on the grill. If you'd like to put a little oil on it too, you can. A little salt and pepper, but otherwise we just threw it on there to char it.
Beautiful.
A little olive oil, salt.
And just rock it all on there. So we got our little Caesar dressing. So I just added some peppercorns to it, like some just ground pepper.
Sure.
To see like it's still holding together real well. Good amount on there because it's delicious. Just a good old smear. Then we just got the romaine.
The grilled romaine.
Romaine is good.
And so I figured we're going to do. So we have the chicken here, and of course it's a little hot. It's just right off the. So we're going to do a little bit of dark meat and a little bit of white meat here. So
Beautiful.
We have that here.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Skin is nice and crispy.
It is. And so I'm also going to cut the breast off here.
Beautiful.
So
So
we
we're
can
just
have-
leaving it. Okay, beautiful.
Yep. And so separate this piece here. We have a little bit of chicken breast here,
Gorgeous.
so you get a little bit of both.
Beautiful. How's that bread looking over?
And
Is
this-
it-
Yep. And we have a little bit. This is for our crouton here, and it's looking great, nice and
Oh.
toasted.
Beautiful. So we just slice that up real quick. And just jam them on there. Just kind of here and there and everywhere. Right there. So it kind of turns like a regular Caesar salad, kind of almost
Yeah.
like into like a little dinner plate.
And it looks good. It's nice contemporary,
Yeah. Like it's just a new twist on an already old dish. It's delicious.
old and tasty dish.
Beautiful. Well, thank you, Mike, for helping us out today. And
Thanks for having me again.
it's always a blast.
It is.
Good times. Be sure to check out our website for all our recipe and all our fun stuff. And stay tuned for new episodes. And until next time, grill some stuff.
Yep. See you again.